Okay, good morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube. Just Daf It. Today we're doing Nedarim, Daf Mem Daled, number 44. Almost finishing the first chelek of art scroll in Nedarim. There's only two chalakim. We're about halfway through. Today we're going to discuss the topic of Hefker, fundamental malchos in Rabbanan and Rabbi Yossi, how Hefker works. I will explain that more in Ian with Ben Sion a little deeper. Let's get started. The bottom Mem Gimel Beis, the last word of the third to last line. Tanya. The Brisa says, if you make your field hefker, some people have extra land, they want to make it hefker. The first 3 days, yachal achzerbo. Meaning, even if someone were to take your land, I have the right to say, I want my land back. Once 3 days pass, I can't retract. Seemingly, you have 3 days that it's, even after you make it hefker, it's sort of in your possession. Amar, the Brisa continues, the top of Mendalat Amanal, Teis Hadazum of Keret Liomechad, the Shabbos Achas, the Chodesh Achas, the Shana Achas, the Shavua Achas. However, if he makes his field hefker for a prescribed amount of time, not forever, for 1 day, or for 1 week, or for 1 month, or for 1 year, or for 1 7-year period, until someone else takes it, he can retract. Once someone else takes it, even seemingly within the first 3 days, he would make the hefker. Then, no, he can't take it back. Reisha Rabban Sefer Rabbi Yossi. The Gemara notes, it seems that the Reisha holds like the opinion of the Rabban. The Rabbanan hold, like we learned in the Mishnah, the Rabbanan seemingly hold, when I make something hefker, I lose ownership over that entirely. We'll see what he does with the fact, the Reisha, that you have 3 days to be chosed to retract, even if someone were to take it within those 3 days. Sefer Rabbi Yossi, the Sefer follows the opinion of Rabbi Yossi. Rabbi Yossi holds that even if I'm mafkir it for a long time, it never leaves my rishus until someone takes it. When someone takes it, it leaves my rishus. So therefore, if I'm mafkir it for an extended amount of time, forever, the Sefer was talking about for a specific amount of time, but let's say it's mafkir it for a 7-year period, and then no one's been zocha in it for a year, I can take it back. But according to Yossi, hefker never really left my rishus. According to Rabban, it leaves your rishus right away. That's why they had machlokes in the Mishnah, right? If you're on the path with a friend that can't get enough from you, according to Rabbi Yossi, you can't make it hefker because it still remains in your rishus. According to the Rabban, when I make something ownerless, it's ownerless. So we're going to have 2 ways to try to resolve this brisa. We don't like to say a brisa, half of it's the Rabban and say for Rabbi and then half of it's Rabbi Yossi. Amar Ula, so Ula gives the first answer. Seifa nami Rabbanan. To say that really the Seifa is also the Rabbanan. The entire brisa follows the opinion of the Rabbanan. Ihaki amayat shelo zakaba beinu ben achi yachal achsar. Right? Once I make something ownerless, right, I can't retract my hefker, right? I lose my ability to retract my saying it's hefker. Right? It seems that I have a whole year until someone else actually takes it. According to Rabbanan, once I make something hefker, it's gone. I can't retract. Maybe within 3 days you can retract, but after that you can't retract. So my answer is shiny shana v'shavua lo shchichi. The Sefer was talking about a weird case. Not only makes someone make something hefker, you make it hefker forever, entirely. I make something hefker. I leave some food out and outside the base medrash in the coffee room. People are going to take it right away. Make it hefker forever. I don't plan on taking those stale ragalach back. However, the Sefer is talking about where I only want to make it hefker for a certain amount of time. The reason being probably because the guy wants to get potter from Shumas and Maisha. It's like paying your taxes. So yeah, it's hefker for a certain amount of time, and then you take it back afterwards. So those cases, he never really meant to relinquish ownership. He just wanted to potter from Shumas and Maisha. So that's why in the Sefer, according to Rabbana, you have the right to retract unless someone else takes it. Reish Lakish says, not like Ulam, the Sefer Rabbi Yossi, Reish Nam Rabbi Yossi. The entire Brisa follows Rabbi Yossi's opinion, which means I don't lose Rishus until someone else takes it. Reisha, right, the Sefer is understood. Until someone else takes it, it's still in my Rishus. The Reisha, I know time. What's the explanation of the Reisha? That after 3 days, I can't be choser, even if no one took it. Really, according to Rabbi Yossi, it still remains in your Rishus Mido Raisa, technically. However, they said after 3 days you don't have the right to retract, so that we shouldn't lose the concept of hefker, right? If you're always able to retract forever and ever, then hefker renders meaningless. It's like by saying something is hefker, I have not done anything, right? To Midirabbanan, they said that even though really it always remains in your rishos until someone else takes it, right? Nonetheless, they said I don't have the right to retract my hefker after 3 days. Yihachi Midirabbanan, Yihachi afilu miyom rishon nami. So why right away if they don't want to forget Torah's hefker, they should make it Takana Rabbanan. Midaraisa Takana Rabbanan always remains in your rishos until someone else takes it. But right away, the first second that I make it hefker, it should be hefker Midirabbanan. Because, like I mentioned, there are certain people that are mafkir their fields for a second, the pater Jews the maestros, and then they take it right back. So therefore, make it at least a 3-day hefker to avoid most cases of ramoyin, of cheaters do it for 1 day and then they don't, because they don't want to take a chance someone else will take their field. Therefore, we make 3 days, so they're not going to be mafkir the field, they're ramoyin, and therefore 3 days. Lo lishtaka Torah's hefker. About the Raisa, so the Gemara continues. About the Raisa, lo have a hefker. And the Raisa, according to Rabbi Yossi, it's not hefker until someone else takes it. But Dilma, you want a different problem. Dalam and Beis on the top. But Dilma asila asurim min achiv al aptur min aptur al achiv. Right now, you have this questionable field. I made it hefker. According to Rabbi Yossi, it didn't leave my rishos. It's still in my rishos until someone else takes it. Right? It's basically just giving permission to someone else to take my field. So I could always retract, and technically, this field is still in my rishus, so it's chayav and shumas ma'asos. So there's a din, the Gemara, the Torah learns out, right? Oba Levi, something like that. And lo chelak imcha, it has to be shumas ma'asos are only chayav like things that you own, not like leviim own. Leviim don't own a property, so I have to have ownership over a field to be chayav and shumas ma'asos. So technically, according to Rabbi Yossi, it's still in my position. It's still chayiv and shumas and ma'isros, right? But you're going to think what? You're going to think, since I can't be chozro after 3 days, it really is hefker, even though it's only hefker midrabana. But you might think it's hefker midaraisa, and therefore, I'll treat it as something which is pater and shumas and ma'isros, when really it's chayiv and shumas and ma'isros. I'll get confused with shumas and ma'isros because I want to take off shumas and ma'isros from one field on this field or from this field on another field. And you have to take off shumas and ma'asos min achiv al achiv. If one of them is pater, it doesn't work. You're going to make a mistake, and whatever shumas ma'asos transaction you made will be ineffective. So the Gemara answers no. In this unique case, if someone makes something hefker, we tell the person, we instruct them, because it's the kind of rabbanon, we instruct him to only take shumas ma'asos from the field on itself. So therefore, if it's pater, it's pater. It's chayiv, it's chayiv. Meisive. Hamafkir as karmo. A further question from Rabraisa. Someone who makes his kerem, his vineyard hefker, l'shachar amad basro. At night he made it hefker. And in the morning, he woke up and decided, I want to take it back. And he started plucking the grapes off the vineyard. Chayiv v'peret of olod of shicho v'peya. All the matnos aniyim, peret, are grapes that fall off the clusters. Olos are grapes that are not fully formed. The clusters are not fully formed. Shicha, you forgot a large amount of grapes. Peya, the corner of it, you'll think of peya. Nonetheless, these things are chayiv because the Gemara in Baba Kama says that if I relinquish ownership and I take it back right away, there the chiyuv, even though matnos aniyim are not chayiv and hefker, since I took it back right away, the matnos aniyim come back in full force. So pater min ha-ma'aser. However, nonetheless, in this case, it is pater min ha-ma'aser, even though he's mafkir only for a certain amount of time, only for 1 night. So this price makes sense according to Ula, the Rabbanan Kasani La. He says the previous price was the Rabbanan. Well, soon this price is also the Rabbanan. Udaraisa Kasani La. Mido Raisa. Right? It's pater and shumas and ma'asos because hefker leaves your rishus. Once it leaves my rishus even for 1 minute, right? It's pater of shumas and ma'asos. El Reish Lakish, according to Reish Lakish, I'm not pater min ha-ma'aser. According to Reish Lakish, who says that the previous price is Rabbi Yossi, we'll assume this is also Rabbi Yossi. We'll assume it's also Rabbi Yossi. So why is it pater min ha-ma'aser? Why is it pater min ha-ma'aser? If you're not mafkir, it doesn't leave your rishus. It's b'chaim in shumas and ma'asos. Amar lecha, he answers you, ki amar ana Rabbi Yossi harabanan he. He concedes, yes. Reish Lakish should say this brisa in Baba Kam mafkir as karmo. That has to be according to the Rabbanan. It does pater in shumas and ma'asos. However, the previous brisa is entirely Rabbi Yossi, like he stated before. That's the conclusion of today's daf. Stay tuned for Eno with Ben Sion, where we discuss the svara of Rabbi Yossi and the Rabbanan. What exactly are they arguing about in Lamdus? You're not going to want to miss it. Eno with Ben Sion coming up next.